Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello and welcome to The Print. I have with me today the Vietnam ambassador to India, Ambassador Pham Sanh Cho. He will be speaking to us on India-Vietnam relations, and this year Vietnam is also the chair for ASEAN. Welcome to The Print, Ambassador. My first question to you will be, how are the relations between India and Vietnam at this point of time? And being the chair of the ASEAN grouping, what will be your priorities?
The relationship between Vietnam and India has never been better. It has already been excellent. It is and it continues to be excellent. We are very pleased with the relationship, which is now we call the comprehensive strategic partnership relationship. Mm-hmm. And we enjoy that relationship with only 3 countries across the world. And there are 5 pillars in that relationship: defense and security cooperation, political and diplomatic relationship, economic and trade. The 4th one is scientific cooperation. And the 5th one is people-to-people contact. So we are very pleased with the growth of our relationship between Vietnam and India. In terms of Vietnam's priority for ASEAN, Vietnam is chair of ASEAN at the moment. We set up a motto, what we call cohesive and responsive ASEAN. Now, our top priority is to work in such way that ASEAN will work closely together among themselves and with other external partners in order to fight against COVID-19. That is the top priority. And with that, we have been able to set up what we call an ASEAN COVID Fund in order to fight against it. We are also able to create a reserve of supplies for this. And we will involve other external partners of ASEAN like China, EU, USA, Korea, to work closely together with us on this matter. And the second priority for us is to make sure that we will have economic recovery after the pandemic. So this is what we are on at the moment.
So I believe that in a post-COVID world and also within the pandemic, as you know, the pandemic is going on, there have been some meetings that the ASEAN has done, but India was not invited. Do you expect India to do more for ASEAN? What are the progress? What is the progress in terms of the India-ASEAN FTA on services and investment? Is that a problem area?
I think that I understand now India is busy fighting COVID too, and India trying very hard to make sure that India is less hit by the pandemic. India is making tremendous effort in order to be able to maintain economic growth, which is a challenge for everybody. Of course, India has interacted with many ASEAN leaders. India is not interacted with ASEAN as a whole, but it's coming soon, I suppose. And we are welcome Indian role in that matter. With regards to the free trade agreement between ASEAN and India, at the night session of the economic ministers between ASEAN and India, both sides have agreed to set up a committee to review the free trade agreement. And we also agree that we will review that when we are able to conclude the RCEP agreement. At the moment, Vietnam's top priority is to make sure that RCEP will be signed in Vietnam during Vietnam ASEAN chairmanship. And after that, ASEAN will discuss with India on the review of the agreement on goods. We also think of the same way with the service agreement. So I think that is in the pipeline now.
Mm-hmm. Coming to the RCEP, and good that you mentioned about it, you know very well the position that India has taken on this. And especially now after the tensions and the conflict with China across, the LAC, the Galwan Valley incident, do you think there will be any kind of possibility for India to come back to RCEP? And if not, then what will be ASEAN's next move?
It's the views of all the ASEAN country and ASEAN's external partners is that we want to have India in RCEP. And we believe that that will create a very good trading partner and trading bloc in the region that will have to facilitate the trade between India and other RCEP members. That's why we continue to facilitate the re-inclusion of ASEAN, of India, into the talks. And Vietnam, as the chair, Vietnam had already had all the favorable conditions for the last talks between India and other RCEP members, and Vietnam will continue to do so at the convenience and comfort of India. So the way to RCEP for India is always open, and we welcome that, and we think it is very necessary under the current situation.
Mm-hmm. But do you plan to sign the RCEP agreement? I do understand the plan initially was to sign the agreement without India, and India can always come on board in the month of March. But after that, the pandemic started. So when do you plan to now sign it? And are you willing to go ahead and not wait for India to come on board?
We believe that if India does not feel comfortable in joining RCEP at the moment, then Vietnam, as a chair of ASEAN, will facilitate the conclusion of that agreement in Vietnam territory during Vietnam ASEAN chairmanship. And after that, we will facilitate the entry of India into this agreement at a later stage, which is at the most comfortable time for India.
Okay. Also coming to the tensions between China and Vietnam. We've seen recently tensions have again gone up in South China Sea. You are also viewing what is happening between India and China. What would you like to say about that? And how do you think, in terms of RCEP or any other kind of economic partnership, can China be made a partner when it is being so aggressive with its military adventurism?
We believe that at this time of challenge caused by COVID-19, we need to unite our force in order to focus on the fight against COVID-19. It is already challenging to all of us. So in addition to that, we also have to make sure that our economy will be able to recover soon again. So with this double two task, we believe that all the countries need to strengthen mutual trust and confidence, and especially exercise self-restraint in order not to complicate the situation. And everybody needs to create an environment which is conducive and enabling to the mutual talk in order to settle any dispute that may arise. So this is the position of our country.
Okay. So from Vietnam's point of view, how do you see China's behavior at this point of time, especially at a time when all countries are busy fighting the pandemic?
As I mentioned that it is very important for us now to focus on the pandemic, and we should exercise self-restraint, because if we cannot address the pandemic, that will affect all the countries concerned in the world. And peace and stability are more than ever become very important at that conjuncture. So I would like to see all the countries to act in the way that would not complicate the situation.
Mm-hmm. Ambassador, you also are aware that India is now looking at Indo-Pacific in a very serious manner, and it is also probably looking at being a member of the G7, which can soon become G11, although that depends on consensus. But what is being a strategic partner? What are Vietnam's views on all of these steps?
I believe that the situation continue to change, and that's why for some existing mechanism need to be changed as well in order to reflect the current reality. And India decided to join Group G7. I believe that is a genuine desire and aspiration because of the various reasons. Number one, India is a very big country, the biggest democracy in the world. And number two, GDP of India is much bigger than some countries within G7. And number three, India is playing a very constructive role in maintaining peace and stability in the world. And India for Vietnam also deserved a permanent seat once the UN Security Council is reformed. So it has a deserving role in any mechanism that address all the matters of global nature. So I believe and we think that as we agree at various high-level meetings that we need to extend our mutual support at the different multilateral organizations and fora. In that spirit, I believe that we welcome the desire of India to join any grouping that make contributions to peace and stability and that help to address the economic challenges at the moment.
Okay. Now coming to India-Vietnam business and trade ties. Now, in a post-COVID world, many global supply chains will be shifting. Vietnam is already getting some of the, companies, American companies, especially coming out of China. India is also planning to do that. But bilaterally, India and Vietnam, how can they cooperate with each other? Will there be a free trade agreement, a bilateral trade agreement, or how do you see that getting enhanced?
Vietnam and India are working very closely at the moment in order to maintain the flow of investment and trade between the two countries. One of the best examples of that excellent cooperation is that the government of Vietnam just decided to accept a digital certificate of origin issued by the government of India in order to facilitate the release of different containers which got stuck in various ports in Vietnam because of that situation. So we have showed a sense of flexibility in the period of pandemic. And we also try to engage more business people of both sides in order to promote the relationship. And one of the examples is that over the past 2 months, the Embassy of Vietnam, in conjunction with different agencies in Vietnam, have organized 6 webinars in order to keep the Indian business people informed of the current situation in Vietnam, especially a COVID-free society, especially the fact that Vietnam has come back to full normalcy. So the opportunity are there, especially Vietnam just ratified the Vietnam-EU free trade agreement. So that will create tremendous opportunity for Vietnamese business people to come and to do business in Vietnam and to purchase a new source of supply for material in India, and also a good opportunity for Indian company to export a lot of material to Vietnam and to go to Vietnam as a new destination of investment.
Mm-hmm. Ambassador, my last question to you will be on the rising tensions in the South China Sea. Do you expect India to sort of take a stand and support Vietnam? Has it been doing so? What are your expectations from the government?
Our position is that we welcome all countries in the region or from outside the region which can make positive contribution to the maintenance of peace and stability in the region, to uphold the principles of international law, especially the UNCLOS, the law of the sea. And we also believe that any country that can contribute to the peaceful settlement of any dispute should have a role to play in that part. And we welcome all that. And definitely we welcome Indian contribution to this process. In the same way, we welcome India in her previous contribution to the struggle of the Vietnamese people for national independence and to the peaceful development and national construction of Vietnam at a later stage. So we hope that India continue to do its active role as they used to do.
Sure. Ambassador, thank you so much for talking to The Print. Please take care.
Thank you very much. Please stay strong and safe.